This Psalm 5 is a meditation and a prayer about evil and evil people, and how they tempt us all to be evil or even to be jealous. Some crook, he's worth $40 million and he stole every penny of it. And I'm worth $35. I'm thinking I should go steal for a while and make a little money. I don't think that, but that's the temptation. So this psalm, as we've already started, I know, Hakshiva lakol, give ear to my words, you see, Adonai, understand my murmur. And that's where we ended when I was talking about that, you see. Bina Hagigi. And it's in that word that we have this notion of murmur like a dove, as it says elsewhere. Because people very rarely read or prayed silently. They always gave some voice to it. And there are still some cultures that do that. So that this is my murmuring, my prayer, okay? Be attentive to the sound of my outcry, my King and my God. My King, I owe you total and complete loyalty. My God, I worship and adore you, and I'm lost in your mystery. You are my King, but you're also my God, my Creator, the one who dwells within me, the one who surrounds me, the unutterable one to whom my heart is so attracted that I can't stop thinking about you. You're my God, Elohai. Do you see? Be attentive to the sound of my outcry, my King and my God, for to you I make appeal. And then for the first time in this psalm, the word Adonai. It's spelled YHWH. And when it is pronounced, and the Jews do not pronounce it, Yahweh. And we've been requested by the Holy See, where we have put Yahweh in our psalms, in our songs, to take it out. That song, Yahweh, I know you are near, for instance. Out of respect for the fact that the Jews, starting in about the 4th or 5th century, began to abstain from pronouncing the sacred name. They did before that, but it gradually fell into disfavor. The pronunciation, not the name. Adonai, in the morning, hear my voice. You see, Adonai, Boker Tishma Koli. And then again, in the morning, I prepare for you my case. I'm going to complain, God. And I draw up for you, you see my case. And then we go on to the next verse. See, because you, you are not a God who takes pleasure in evil. And your eyes cannot stand in the boastful cannot stand in your gaze. And then finally, Sha'anta, you hate all who do evil. Does God hate them? Not in the sense of being angry and wanting to punish them, but in this sense, if they don't turn back to Him, they're going to be, by their own evil, thrusts them away from God. When we're full of evil, we can't stand there with God, and we're thrust away. That's why so many people don't want to talk to God, because they're afraid. But all the message of the Scriptures is, go to God, repent for your sin, and you will be received. But you see, with you no evil can abide. The boastful cannot stand in your gaze. And now we have these various words. See, Holalim, the Neged Enika. They cannot yet yasabu. They cannot take their stand. Those who boast in your sight, or who cannot stand your gaze. All who do evil, you hate. What does that mean to hate? It means to experience. God doesn't have like emotions. He doesn't have it in for anybody. But evil is totally incompatible with him. So that if we are in evil and we go near God, we're going to feel a rejection. Unless we go and repent. Then we'll feel nothing but the welcome the prodigal son received. Father got out of his chair, ran out when he could see his son at a long distance, ran out and embraced him. And didn't even let him have his speech. Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am not worthy to be called. The father, yeah, that's fine. I'm so glad to see you. You're my son. Come. That's God. And who's telling us that? Jesus, the Son of God. He ought to know. You see, the boastful cannot stand, and you hate in that sense that I just said. You destroy the speaker of lies. The man of blood and deceit, Adonai abhors. So boastful, do evil, speak lies, and be a person of blood and deceit. That's what those two verses are saying. And I, in the abundance, and I translated this very awkwardly, but I was trying to get something across. Ani barok hasdika, in the abundance of your hesed. And that's such a big word, huh? I translated it covenant loyalty. Chesed is the way we keep. God first keeps the law, keeps the covenant with enthusiasm, and we do. And not just with God, but with each other. We have covenant loyalty, you see. And I, in the abundance of your covenant loyalty, I will enter your house. I will worship in the temple of your holiness in fear of you. It doesn't mean I'm afraid of you, but I know who you are. And you're not to be trifled with. Certainly I shouldn't take your name in vain, or should I pretend that I know you, or that I really have worshipped you when I don't. Be honest with yourself, with God, and with everybody else. Boy, I know people who have done that after maybe a serious conversation, and they've said, talking to me, could be anybody, pray for me. That was a moment of a breakthrough. I'm a very moral person, is what you often hear. They're not. And if they were, that's not enough anyway. Moral person, you have to love God with all your heart and all your soul and all your might, and your neighbor as yourself. That's how you get into heaven. So then he goes on, the psalmist. Adonai, guide me in your righteousness. And that's a beautiful word. Nachoni, Besidka. And there again you have this word, Sedek. It's so precious a word in the psalm. Okay? Because there is nothing, because of my watchful enemies. Guide your way before me, because there is nothing upright in their mouths. Their throat is an open grave. If they start talking about you, you're dead. They'll ruin your reputation. They'll ruin everything they can. They'll make you a mockery. If they open their mouth in that way, their throat is an open grave. And they flatter with their tongue. And now he starts to pray about them. And he says, punish them, God. Let them fall by their own devices. For their many sins cast them out, because they have rebelled against you. Now, after what Jesus prayed on the cross, like, Father, forgive them, for they don't know what they're doing. See, we can pray, and this will be very significant as we go through the psalm. But it's not wrong to say, give them, knock some sense into their head. Nothing wrong with that. You see, for their many sins cast them out. But let all who take refuge in you be glad and exult forever. Protect them, that you may be the joy of those who love your name. Think about that prayer. And when you say Psalm 5, you say it slowly. I don't have that's my translation, but it's like everybody else's. I don't know if I have an English Bible here. Oh, there's one. I'll look it up later. You see, he's praying first for those who rebel against God and do harm to their neighbor. Oh, Lord, either change them or get them out of here. And then, but let all who take refuge in you. And again, these are such beautiful words, son. Yismachu kol choseh bak. And let them rejoice who are taking refuge in you. Let them rejoice forever. Isn't that beautiful? Somebody's going to God. Oh, a woman just found out her husband's unfaithful to her, and she wants to forgive him. She wants to bring him back. But she's so hurt and so betrayed. You see? So he says, let those who take refuge in you protect them, that you may be the joy of those who love your name. Out of that joy and that union with God, that offended woman, broken-hearted woman, can forgive. And not only save the marriage, save that guy from hell. But it's a prayer for forgiveness, you see, as we understand it. And then, the last line of the whole thing, you go back to this notion, because God, Tibarek Tzadik, you bless the just man. Adonai, in the abundance of your, I'm going to go back a little bit more, of those who love your name. For you, O Lord, bless the just man. Tibarek Tzedek. Surround him with the shield of your goodwill. And the word, the rason, which is the word for goodwill and that notion. That's the way you treat those who seek your face. So you see, this is a psalm about evil, about being confronted with evil. But it's a psalm that goes beyond it. How do you reject? How do you deal with evil? Suppose you were betrayed. Suppose all these things happened to you. How would you pray? And this psalm shows you how you pray.